What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Super Gamer Boys. I'm your host, Colonel and Dad, Garrett Morlang. Here in the virtual studio with me is the king of video games and still resident superstar, Adrian Holmes. What's up, Adrian?
Good evening, fellas. How are we doing this evening?
Doing good. We're all alive. We're well. We're here. JJ made it 2 weeks in a row. It's a Christmas miracle.
Right? Yes,
Christmas
That's
miracle.
a record. That's like a record. Yeah.
Give it up. All right.
Also,
I won an award.
Yeah. So also joining us here tonight is the heavyweight podcasting champion of the world, JJ Purdom.
All right, it's about to get inappropriate, boys, because I had to reach out to Garrett and have him edit some stuff off my other podcast, and that's the one that's PG typically. So I've saved all my dirtiest, raunchiest stuff for today, right here on the Super Gamer Boys. It's good for you guys to see me today.
Is it?
And hear me, you know.
Yeah. I do also want to quick mention, I told last week, we were joking around, oh, you haven't been on in like a month. And you're like, oh, what? No way, it hasn't been that long. And we were naming all the guests that we've had on the last 4 weeks or whatever. And I totally missed one, our very own Patreon producer, Eddie Martin. I listed like all the other guests we had and totally forgot about Eddie. So I'm sorry, Eddie, if you're listening to this. I apologize for not listing your name last week.
I missed Eddie on the show. Man, I got to go back and listen to that.
Yeah, Eddie was on. And all the other ones I mentioned. I won't even mention them this week because I have to make it up to Eddie. But yeah, we've had lots of fun guests while you've been gone. Yes, we are all here together, and hopefully JJ isn't too inappropriate because I don't want to be up all night doing editing.
Yeah, we had tons of
I
people.
gotta
We had who else was here? Mick Foley was here. You missed Mick Foley.
What the?
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Yeah, Stone Cold Steve Austin was here one time. You missed him too.
Are you serious?
Yeah, we even had before his scandal, we had Vince McMahon, man. Dude, they just called us up one day. They're like, hey, we saw that wrestling podcast. Can we come on this date?
I could have totally gotten
sure.
over my tummy ache and could have been on the show.
Hey, we said, hey, be here this date, Vince McMahon. All three of us will be here. And then lo and behold, my tummy hurts, my widow tummy. And
my tum hurt
show with Vince and no
okay.
JJ.
Okay, here's where you lost me. I would have never said my little because there's nothing little about my tummy. But that kind of hurts, guys. I mean, I feel like we're close enough that you guys could have called me and said like, hey, like the guy who created.
No, man, we're gonna let you rest. What do you mean?
Yeah, we love you, Jay. We care about you. We want the best for your health.
So
dude,
we sat here.
You sent me a text and you said you either get back to the show or you're fired, dude. Like what? You say that you want the best for my health, but it sounded like you were going to get legal action starting against me, dude. You sent me that lawyer.
I mean that actually came from my my advisor Adrian Holmes here.
Oh, okay. That makes a lot more sense now.
That
you said
came from the top.
We have Patreon producers. We have an obligation here. If we have to get the courts involved, so and then you're like, we care about you. In the same breath, how do you do that with that face?
We only have so many WWE All-Star Hall of Famers that we can talk to before we run out, and then we're like, okay, we got to get back.
All-Star Hall of Famers too, like All-Star Hall of Famers.
All-Star. I mean, we had to turn the Undertaker down when we heard that you were coming back.
Oh no,
you were going to be here.
You could have had the dead man on the show.
Sorry.
Evil. No.
We can only have 3 people on the show. It's a rule.
Oh God.
As of right now.
There was a time recently we had like 5 or 6 people on the show. You brought in like 3 people, and they brought in like their neighbor and stuff, El Chizo, and
they were all on one cam.
Yeah, one cam.
Oh, so that doesn't count then. That's
right.
Okay.
Right.
I'm not good at math, guys, so we'll have to figure that out. But I am coming off hot with my nipples still hard after that incredible Games Awards. Where we did that right here. We did a show together, the 3 of us. I mean, we've done like several shows, not just last week, but we did the Game Awards together, guys.
First time
I'm in
ever.
it to win
All
it.
3 of us.
Yeah. I mean, I had to threaten you with legal action, but you did show up on Thursday night.
It worked.
It was a surprise. Yeah. If you missed it, you can actually go over to youtube.com/supergamerboys and watch all like 3.5 hours of reactions over there, or skip through it. You can skip through it too. But check it out. All 3 of us were on there. It was a blast. And we're going to be talking about some of those reactions, I guess, tonight. So you can get the short end here. And if you want to go see them in person, then you can skip through and find what we're going to be talking about tonight.
Are we going to
'cause
talk about your giant erection when Hideo? No, we're not.
Today, we're talking about the Game Award reveals the FTC isn't too happy with Microsoft and how even IGN isn't safe from layoffs. But first, let's give a quick shout out to our Patreon producers, Bumple Smash, Eddie Martin, and Kajoma01, and our Super Gamer sponsors, Julie Bates and Mama Mare. If you want to be awesome just like those folks, head over to patreon.com/supergamerboys. Supporters over there starting just $1 a month where you can get episodes early and ad-free, such as this show and our Super Gamer Book Club. Right now, it's available to, you can get the new episode, Legend of Zelda: Link to the Past, featuring the Nintendo Cartridge Society. And on the free feed, you can listen to Adrian and I talk about 2064 read-only memories. And
What a game.
Get ready. Yeah, fantastic game, fun episode, and upcoming. Support us now so you can get it. Kingdom Hearts, featuring Adrian, featuring myself, and featuring special guest, KK Ryder. I've been playing through it. I'm all the way on
What's the movie?
world
What's
with,
the movie?
with Little Mermaid.
Oh, you're in Atlantica. Oh man, I can't wait to hear what you think about
Atlantica.
that one.
In Atlantica. I just got out of the dang whale. On Atlantica. So you want to hear more about Kingdom Hearts talk, make sure to support us. You get that episode at the end of the month. Hopefully it is the holiday season, so give us
People are traveling, things are moving.
Yeah. We'll talk more about our Patreon later on the show, but I want to give a quick shout out to Jack Sriracha and Yate for allowing us to use their music on our show. Please show them support by listening on Spotify or Apple Music. Links to both are in the show description below. Spotify and Apple Music. Head down there, click on those links, listen to them. And because they're incredible people and they're making good music. And I think I mentioned on a previous episode, but I think there's new music coming from Jack Sriracha, I believe.
That's what I hear. I hear that Jack is he's working on some things.
Yeah, he posted on Instagram. I'm excited. I can't wait to hear it. So go support him so they can keep making cool stuff. All right. It's now time to check the mail.
Okay, so this time I swear, I was fully ready. And when I say fully ready, I mean like Garrett was fully erect for that Hideo Kojima announcement. I was fully ready. I have this entire bit that I have worked out. It's actually really funny. I'm pretty proud of it. But unfortunately, due to time constraints, there's only one question of the show this week. So I don't want to waste it on just one thing. So we're gonna hold.
So you're holding your bit hostage? Is that what's going on here?
Yeah, I feel like I don't want to throw it away on just one. Like, so
you hear that, guys? You guys got to write in to the mailbag segment, or else JJ's not going to give us the bit.
Incredible. I mean, this is like
he finally does his homework. He finally does his homework, and we don't get to hear it because you guys didn't write in.
Thanks a lot, folks.
I've been putting in the hours on this show with the Game Awards. I worked this bit out, and it's fine. I even sent it over to a couple of top-rate comedians and had them look at it. Dave Chappelle, personal friend. I'm very close.
you and Elon Musk, apparently.
I was going to say, I don't know if... might want to revise that one a couple of times.
Well, you can edit this part out. Just edit it out. Nobody's going to see that. So basically, we'll hold on. We're gonna put a pin in that.
Okay.
And you just go ahead and just read it off of your computer screen. Because I know it's in your email, right?
I just checked out the chat on Twitch. Selkie says clipped. So whether I did out or not, it's clipped for the internet forever. It's there forever. So sorry, JJ. You got to watch what you say when Selkies is in the chat.
With AI being what it is and with those deep fakes,
there you go.
You know what I mean? I'm just saying, that's obviously a deep fake. I never said anything in relation to that.
Yeah, man. AI is something else, dude. Kind of reminds me of Gary. You remember when what Stone Cold was saying when we were talking to him about AI?
Oh my god, dude! Oh my god!
Really poignant to say about the state of deepfakes.
What did he say?
You had to be there, man. Sorry.
No,
you had a tummy ache.
No, I don't need to hear that.
You had a tummy ache.
Oh God!
You know, if you listen to the show, you'd know. But obviously, you just proved that you don't even listen to the show.
I think I'm having an ulcer right now.
You're getting an ulcer. Oh my goodness. All right. Well, let's get into this mailbag question here. This first and one and only question. This lonely question.
One question. I can't believe this.
Should we just we should just let's cancel the show right now. All right. You know what, guys? That's it. We're canceling it. See you next time. We're out. All right, now we'll give you the question because this person needs to know. Eddie Martin writes in and asks, "What is your Mount Rushmore of Christmas songs?"
Sticking with the theme of Mount Rushmore, are we?
Yes.
He is going to ride Mount Rushmore till the wheels fall off, dude.
I love it. I mean, so it's literally like the ultimate question. It's just the unlimited like question starter. Like you can ask the Mount Rushmore of literally anything. It's fantastic.
So I actually stole Eddie's idea when I started the Suplex City Wrestling podcast and immediately started in with the Mount Rushmore. I'm like, it's really easy to go to. And like, it's why not? So Eddie, thank you for that. That got me quite a bit of viewers using that old Mount Rushmore gimmick. So
I think that means you owe him royalties now.
I don't know about all that. I don't know about that. But what say we retire the Mount Rushmore thing after today? Because I don't think there. I mean, you can't juice it anymore. You know what I mean?
There's so many more awesome things.
No, you go out on top. You see what I'm saying?
To each his own.
I got no dog in this fight. I'm just. I just wanted to make the observation, is all.
All right. So, what are your guys' Mount Rushmore of Christmas songs?
So, Mount Rushmore being only 4, right?
Correct.
So, I'm gonna pick. One of my picks has got to be "Grandma Got Ran Over by a Reindeer."
Solid classic.
I think it's the comedy. It's funny, and it's one of those ones that stands out to me.
JJ, is your cat dying?
You heard that too?
That's my 7-year-old daughter.
Okay.
And she's yelling at the cat.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. She tortures the cat.
So the cat could be dying.
Okay. The cat might actually. That might have been the cat dying. I don't really know.
Oh my God.
You know, but I'm busy. This world famous podcast right now. So, Grandma got run over by reindeer is one of them. I have to look at the list because there's so many Christmas songs, and unfortunately, I got to pull up everything online to see what other songs are out there. I really like the Little Drummer Boy. That's one of those ones that is one of the classic Christian ones that I love very much.
Solid pick.
Another one would be "It's the Most Wonderful Time of the Year." I really love that song a whole lot. And then the other one is the Christmas Shoes. Now, I don't know if you guys have heard the Christmas Shoes.
Oh, the Christmas Shoes.
It gets played over and over and over again in every store that you're in or mall or whatever. I cry like a little girl.
Yeah, why do you like that song?
Because I'm old.
You just like to cry? You like to be sad?
I like the sadness. It's, I don't know. I don't know what it is about that song, but I'm like, because his mom is dying. It's his shoes. And he bought them for him. Yeah. That's what happens as you get older. Your testosterone levels drop. I'm just saying. You're going to start crying at Kleenex commercials eventually, gentlemen.
I mean, I cry at Death Stranding trailers, so.
You sure do.
I don't know if that's 4 or not, but Adrian, do you have 4 for us?
I have at least 3 for sure.
Okay. All right.
Wham! Last Christmas. Absolute classic. Is that Paul McCartney or is it John Lennon? I can never remember. Simply Having a Wonderful Christmas Time.
Oh yeah.
That's one of those two. I think it's Paul.
I think it's Paul. The old man would know, but he's ignoring us right now. So
it is Paul McCartney. Sorry, okay. I had my phone on or my microphone on silent.
My number 3 is the Carpenters' "Merry Christmas, Darling." Little bit of a slower burn, but it's a really intimate song, and I appreciate it. And then number 4. A lot of pressure on this pick. I'm going back and forth.
Ooh.
We Need a Little Christmas. You know the one?
Mm-hmm.
We Need a Little Christmas right this very minute.
I'd probably know it,
It's-
but I don't know the name.
Candles in the window.
Thank you, JJ.
That's from
That's-
the
okay.
musical Mame.
Yep.
Right this very minute. Yes, we need a little Christmas. Right this
Perfect.
very minute. We need a
Need
little,
a little Christmas.
Okay, that's enough of
There you
that.
go.
We don't need to get
Okay,
a copyright
so-
strike or anything.
So my 4th that I should have already said is the song that I sing year round. It's beginning to look a lot like Christmas. Yeah, I sing that year round, all the time, for no reason. I have no idea why. Love that song.
It's a good one.
Everywhere you go.
It's
Yeah,
a
I
great
know.
song. There's nothing wrong with that. For me, I like Blue Christmas by Elvis.
Is that pretty
So
good?
good.
That was a great impression. Yeah, that was good.
Thank you.
Christmas.
Thank you very much.
Christmas, Baby, Please Come Home. And that one is one of my favorites because it's the song at the very beginning of Gremlins. I love it. by Darlene Love. I love this. What's the song from Charlie Brown Christmas? I don't know what the name of it is, but that one.
Which
the one
one?
you all know. The one
Christmas
that you
Time
all
Is Here?
know. And yeah, that one. That one's fantastic.
Solid.
That's 3. My fourth one is Carol of the Bells by August Burns Red.
Really?
Go check it out.
Not Trans-Siberian Orchestra, huh?
No.
Wow.
Check out August Burns Red, and Eddie will appreciate that one because he is a huge August Burns Red fan. He goes to all their shows.
Okay.
So,
Kind of surprised
yes.
nobody's mentioned any Polar Express Christmas songs. There is
I
some
can't
pretty
remember
good
any off the top of
ones.
my. I haven't seen that
From the
movie
mo-
since it came out.
I've never
Oh,
seen the
gosh.
movie.
Are you serious?
You never seen Polar Express?
Never seen it.
You're missing out.
Oh,
And I
if you
only
watch
just
it
read the
today,
book.
dude, you're gonna think it's so dated. But you had to be there when it came out. It was like
Oh,
mind blowing how good the CG looked back then.
So we just watched it a week ago, and I typically watch it with my kids at least once a year during Christmas time with hot chocolate and stuff. And it's fun, man. It's really fun. I think your kids
People
would
like to
really
dunk on it now, but you got to remember, it was almost 20 years ago now.
Dang.
It was
I-
all motion capture stuff at the very beginning of
Mhm.
that style of motion.
I
That kind of
only
stuff. It was
read the
good.
book recently as well. Like Trudy just picked it up for our kids, and I was like, I've never read this book before. This is great. I love loving the book and reading it to Shep. Like, this is the simple children's book. But yeah, and then I was like, I'm pretty sure this is a movie, and yeah, never seen it. So it has Tom Hanks.
Tom Hanks.
Tom Hanks, yeah.
He
Right?
plays like every part. Yeah.
Crazy. Let's see. I just happened to look over at the chat, and Selkies is just popping off over there. He agrees with my August Burns Wild choice there. But he says he's also shocked that I never watched the movie. He does have an extra question for us. Since we answered Eddie's, we got a little bonus question. We got a bonus question here from Selkies in the chat. He writes
I'm
in
still
and
not
says,
going to do the bit, by the way. I'm still not doing the bit. Just because there's a
Yeah.
second question, the bit is still postponed.
Okay.
Yeah, put it where it's supposed to go, Selkies.
Yes, absolutely.
I'll give you an extra question. If there was a world you could add to Kingdom Hearts, what would it be? So this is really mainly a question for Adrian and kind of me. And JJ can just take a random guess and hope he hits one. But
Oh, I got one already. I got
Easy
one, and I've
money.
never played
Easy
Kingdom.
money.
I would say
Star
Star
Wars.
Wars.
Jinx, you owe me some.
Look at that, dude!
Are you kidding?
Dude, the man right here. Good thinking, Adrian. That
But
was
we're
awesome.
already getting it, so I got to think of a different one now.
Wait, is there one? Is there a Star Wars one in one of the games, or?
There may be.
Okay.
There may be people that might have been digging into some Kingdom Hearts 4 trailers and, finding some things here and there. That's a long ways down the road for you, though, Garrett.
There's a Kingdom Hearts 4 announced? I didn't even know. How did I not know this?
Yes, because you weren't a fan before now.
What?
You weren't paying attention.
You're throwing this term around a fan while loosey goosey here. I don't know about that.
Okay, we'll see.
Okay. Star Wars and Star Wars. For me, I think, and this is not really knowing what worlds that the Kingdom Hearts games will go to.
Make it plausible. Make it something that could actually happen. Don't be like, I want him to go to. I want to go to
Wakanda now.
Shadow Moses. That's possible.
They own all Marvel. I mean, come on.
That's true. I don't know. Like, again, I don't know. This might already be in a future game. I just don't know it. I want to go to Incredibles. That's what I want to do.
Okay.
I want Incredibles World. I think that'd be awesome.
Solid pick.
It would be awesome.
I like the Incredibles. Those movies are so great. Yeah, that's my pick. There you go. Bonus round. Bonus question. Thank you so much, Selkies, for that. His answer, he says Indiana Jones would be wonderful. Is Indiana Jones Disney?
That'd be a fun one.
Is that Disney, though?
And
they have the ride, but do they own
Lucasfilm.
Indiana Jones? Do they?
Oh, you're right. Yeah, they do own Lucasfilm. Interesting. Wow, that's crazy. Yeah, that would be awesome.
Yeah,
that'd be super.
I guess
cool.
I never correlated that they would own that. With the other one coming out, Part 5 and stuff like that. That's a trip.
What do you guys think of that trailer, by the way?
Which one?
I've seen it.
The new Indiana Jones trailer.
I haven't had a chance. Why wasn't it at the Game Awards?
Because it's not a game.
Microsoft.
Oh, you're talking about I'm talking about the movie. They released a new movie like 2 weeks ago or something like that.
I haven't seen that one.
Yeah, I haven't seen
yet
it
either.
I don't know
how I feel about
great.
watching Indy hobble around.
They have a de-aged Indy in there, and
really,
actually kind of impressive.
So he's
in the trailer. So
is he have like a stunt double or?
I don't know. I mean, I assume the whole there's old man Indy too in the movie, but there's like a section like in the trailer they show him young and it's like new scenes that he filmed. I'm like, oh wow, okay, I was kind of surprised.
Oh, so it's probably him sitting in a chair and his whip is like up above the fireplace and he's like, "Listen here, grandson. Your old grandfather used to be an adventurer back in the day," and then it does the little fade out, and then it's just CG Indy for the rest of the movie.
Yeah, CG for the rest.
One of the rumors about it was that Shia LaBeouf was supposed to be the new Indy, and that people crapped all over it and didn't like it.
Yeah, because the movie sucked.
It wasn't a good movie. It wasn't a good movie, even though I think Garrett has it in his top 10. But whatever, each his own. But there's talk about him. There's talk about him. Actually, they were from an inner dimension. It wasn't aliens, right? There was talk about him maybe handing it over to like a female that's in the movie or something like that. They handing over that Indiana Jones franchise to like some female lead that can possibly take it on. I ain't mad at it.
I'm not mad at it. If she's good at it, you just got to prove it.
I hope that they give
her a good performance, introduce her right. Let's go.
Those 3 movies were so great, and it's horrible to see it get tarnished with 4. So hopefully they can come up with something good.
Maybe some people like the 4th one. Maybe.
Oh, brother! Oh, this guy!
Oh, man!
We treat this just like Batman. There are 2 Batman games, and there are 3 Indiana Jones movies. Okay.
Well, the 4th one's coming out then.
Thank you. That's what you meant to say.
All right, that's all we got for the mailbag. Thank you so much for writing in, Eddie, and all of the rest of you. Shame.
And Silkies who
shame. And Selkie.
Yeah, and for the rest of you who you didn't write in. Right.
Yeah.
Thanks for that.
If you have a question for us, remember you can DM us anywhere on social media, or if you want to hang out with us during the week and again submit questions, we have a specific place to do that. Go to supergamerboys.com/Discord. And you can drop your questions right in the mail slot over there. We got a little channel. You can type in your fun little questions and other channels where you can chat and hang out with us during the week and talk about what games you're playing, what movies you're watching, or just leave your memes and we can laugh at them. really just hang out with us. So, all right. It's now time for the nerdy nudes.
It's now time for the nerdy nudes.
Yes.
Since the show rep is fine.
Selkies with getting auto modded again over here on Twitch. This has happened the other night. Now it's happening again.
What do you try to say now?
Oh man, held a message for bullying. What did he say? He says, if you like Crystal Skull, you're subhuman for sure.
That's not bullying. That's stating facts.
That's just facts. Oh, sorry for all you who love, but we're not bullying you. You're just subhuman. Okay.
Did he say sorry for all who love? Nobody loves it. You don't have to apologize.
This first news story is not really. We're not going to read a news story, but the Game Awards 2022, everything announced. We're kind of going off of this IGN article written by Adam Bankhurst,
who's hopefully still there.
I mean, if he wrote this, I hope he's. I think that means he's still there. He is kind of a friend of the show. At least he follows me on Twitter. Chatted a few times. Hasn't been on the show yet. Maybe one day we'll get him. But
hey.
Anyways, he wrote an article over there with everything showed off at the Game Awards. And that's what I want to do. This is going to be loosey-goosey. If this takes 15 minutes, if this takes the rest of the show. I just want to talk about all the cool things that we were stoked about, mainly the announcements at the Game Awards. So, JJ, let's start with you. Was there anything that stood out to you that like really tickled your fancy?
Oh,
nope, not a thing. Not a single thing.
Not me. I mean, it was okay. It was medium, mid at best. No,
wow,
you know what? I had a great time. I'm kidding. The Game Awards, I've always caught it in after the fact, watching a few clips on YouTube, never watching the entire thing. So this was actually my first time sitting and watching the entire thing. And I'm so glad that I got to do it with you guys as part of the show so that we could show people our genuine reaction. And I know you guys have been doing that each year. And sometimes I've watched you guys and your reaction. And it's fun to go, oh, my friends enjoying themselves. But man, I got to say that I was really happy to be able to do it with you guys this time. There was lots that stood out, but nothing that stood out as much as the game Judas. So Judas is a game that looks and is from the same universe, the same minds that created BioShock. So when we first saw it jump up on screen, and if you watch the Game Awards that we did in our video
over at youtube.com/supergamerboys,
we thought it was BioShock because it looks like that same style of art,
everything,
and that same gameplay, and it just had that feel to it. And of course, because it's made by from the same people.
Yeah,
and
Ken Levine over there.
It filled me with a huge amount of joy because, man, I just loved BioShock. I just love BioShock. I feel like everything BioShock is fantastic. And it's one of those things that I came in late to the party, but I was like, hey, there's still people in here, getting high off, coke off of a hooker's butt. And I want in, and I want some of that coke.
Oh my gosh.
No, is that too much?
Have you played all? You've played all the BioShock games, right?
I've played all the BioShock games.
Okay. I knew you'd play at least the first couple, but I wasn't sure if you got all the way through.
Yeah, no, I played all of them.
The third one as well.
Yeah, so I say we just call this BioShock. Judas is just BioShock. We know that.
I mean, that's what it looked like. Honestly, like the art style. The combat, the fact that like you have a gun in one hand and like your hand does like superpowers. I'm like, it's plasmids. Like, what's going on? Like it's just right. BioShock in space. Like first in the water, then in the air. What's higher than the air? Outer space. I don't know.
Yeah, in space.
This is the Callisto Protocol for BioShock.
That's exactly what it is. You nailed it. It's literally like, hey, the original team that made this killer game, now they're making another killer game that's basically the same thing, but they can't call it the same thing.
Yep, that's exactly it.
Unfortunately, Callisto Protocol wasn't quite all as chalked up to be, unfortunately.
I think that I was just as excited, not just for me, but for Adrian, because Adrian looked like he was just as happy as me at the Bioshock, at the Judas announcement. Like when you were watching it, I was like, oh, he's like a little kid right now. Like, no, like it's like, yeah, I mean that. So I got joy, and it's like when your kid opens up a Christmas present and you're like, oh man, that's so awesome. Your reaction brought me a lot of joy because I'm like, oh, I know that my friend is going to enjoy the hell out of that game. And look how happy he is, and that's how I felt. I was like, man, this is one of those ones to look forward to. So, yeah, that was the one that stood out for me at the Game Awards.
Nice. That's awesome. Let's keep going around here. Adrian, what was kind of one thing that popped out to you?
Nothing. Absolutely nothing popped out to me. Save for a new game coming from my favorite independent studio working today. Supergiant Games is bringing us Hades 2. The first ever sequel that they've done as a studio, and they couldn't have picked a better game to do a sequel to. Hades was phenomenal. As you know, every time I bring this studio up, I sing their praises. They have made nothing less than a 10 to me. They do not miss in my eyes. And so for them to come out of the woodwork, when this first came on, the preview, I said, and Jeff was talking about, oh, it's an independent studio that's got a whole lot of accolades. I said, the wheels started turning. And I said, well, Supergiant has been kind of quiet for a while after Hades dropped because they didn't do any DLC or anything. And sure enough, that Supergiant logo popped on the screen. And the art style kicked in. And then that's when Garrett, you and I were going back and forth about, is this DLC? Because she had the same headdress as Zagreus.
With that art style, we're like, oh, this is Hades. Sure enough, then they showed the characters like, yeah, this is definitely Hades. Like, but yeah, it was like the suspense of like, is this DLC or is this a new game? DLC, new game.
Right. And then they started showing gameplay, and she plays, it seems like, much differently than Zagreus, which is I'm totally fine with. I'd love a different character, different storyline. She is somehow related though, because Kronos is Hades and I think Zeus's father. So we'll see exactly how they play into it, because I'm sure we're going to run into him at some point. I just don't know where. So technically, she should be his.
So according to a Polygon article, because I read this before, and I forgot I was going to bring this up. Her name is Melano, maybe that's how you pronounce it. It ends with an E with an umlaut over the top. I don't know how you pronounce that, but Melinoe with umlaut, or the two dots above it.
She should be his aunt.
She is. No, it's Hades' daughter. It's sister to Zagreus.
Really? How does that work? Because she called Kronos father. Unless maybe she was speaking about Hades, but why would they put a picture of Kronos up there?
At the very end of the trailer, they show Hades at the very end of the trailer.
Oh, okay.
At the it looks like he's hanging and his head's all slumped down, and like he looks like he's almost like defeated almost or something.
Maybe I was on the floor at that point convulsing because we got
that's true.
Hades 2 announcement.
At that point, you were flatlined and we were calling 911.
Yeah, I'm stoked about this. It's cool that they're gonna let people play it again in early access like they were doing for the original Hades. I didn't do the early access for the original Hades either, because I want to wait till they get to the 1.0 to the full release, because I want to see their full realized vision. I don't want to wear myself out playing beta after beta after beta, especially if I'm not getting paid or getting a credit in the game for QA testing. So yeah, just show me your full vision whenever you're done. I'll be there day one. Now I know we say never pre-order games, but those are games that you could pre-order without worrying about it.
Pre-order with your heart. Quality. You pre-order it with your heart.
No, you can pre-order those games. They don't make bad games. They don't do it.
Okay. All right. We heard it here first.
I will stake my reputation on that. You can pre-order Supergiant Games.
If you don't like it, Adrian will pay for it.
I will pay you. Look, every time, what do I say? Every time when Transistor and Bastion go on sale for $2 or $3, I say, if you know me in real life, I will buy you a copy of this game if you don't have it.
That
I say it every time.
And it happens a lot too, like especially on Switch. Just the other day I was looking and they were all the Supergiant games were like $2. I'm like, what the heck? Like if you don't have these games, like get them.
Right. Like I will Venmo you the money to get it if you know me in real life, dude. People need to play these games. They are so friggin' good. And I'm glad that they finally are getting their shine with Hades, but the rest of their games are just as good. And I want people to know that. So yeah, Hades 2 definitely was the highlight for me. It was my well, I'll let you do your moment, Garrett.
That's right. Hang on, give me a second. That's right. For you audio listeners, you can't see.
He's geared up.
I'm geared up. Got my Bridges hat on. I got my BB. Because Death Stranding's back, bitch. That's right.
Old man Sam, ready to save the day.
Old man Sam. Oh man, I am so excited. I immediately went into like super hyper focus mode in the Game Awards when this popped on. I'm like, oh man, it's Kojima. Oh, what's going on? And Adrian had the audacity to mock the trailer. Freaking Troy Baker was singing a beautiful rendition of BB's theme. And finally, I had enough and I yelled at Adrian. I apologized on Twitter, but I haven't had the chance to say it to your face. I'm sorry for yelling at you. I got very upset.
I didn't even realize you did it.
I was very upset. I'm like, Adrian, stop, or I'm gonna block you. Like I was ready.
I swear, dude.
I was ready to like mute you on stream. I was so like pissed off because I was like, I can't hear.
I had no idea. I thought that was just unintelligible yelling you were doing. I was like, oh, no.
I did not catch that at all.
No,
me either.
Yeah.
So I'm sorry if you felt guilty about that. I had no idea.
Now I want to go back and watch that. There's nothing more funny than Garrett being pissed at anything.
I clipped it. I clipped all of our reactions to different things, and they're all on. I forget if I put on my personal Twitter or the Super Game Boys Twitter. But yeah, I have Adrian's reaction to Hades. I have my reaction to Armored Core and to Death Stranding 2. Oh, spoilers for the other thing I'm excited about. But yeah, Death Stranding 2 got announced. And let me tell you, like, the graphics have been amped up. It's only being developed for PS5. They don't have to worry about PS4 anymore. You can tell that they are using Decima Engine to the utmost of its ability. And they're using MetaHuman, which is an Unreal 5 like character maker. That's MetaHuman is like their software for making like character models.
I didn't know they could talk to each other. That's interesting.
Apparently. So yeah, at the very end of the trailer, at the bottom in fine print, it says they're using MetaHuman, and then they're using and obviously they're using Decima Engine. So it's like no wonder these characters look so like. There's shots in the trailer that look photorealistic, like with Lea Seydoux. Yes. There's a few times it's like, holy smokes, you can see like the fuzz, the hair on her arm, like she's wearing like a tank top, and it's like, what the heck? Like it's so crazy.
Kind of like how they did for like Aloy.
It was Aloy,
see the fuzz on Aloy's face.
Yeah, I remember that whole controversy where everyone's like, what?
Oh, yeah, I forgot about that.
She has fuzz on her face? Girls have hair on their body? Ridiculous.
Girls are people?
Man, gamers, you just get out and touch some grass, really.
Please. Or a boob.
For you.
How about that?
No, but don't just go up and touch a boob. Let me tell you.
Okay,
that
yeah,
does
fair,
not go over well.
You have to clarify that for some people.
And also don't ask. Like, because if you just go up and ask them, that's also weird. Try not to do
that. Yes, Death Stranding 2, I'm stoked about. I loved the little thing that he said afterwards, like a little like they interviewed him for a minute afterwards. And he literally said, yeah, by the way, I actually completely rewrote Death Stranding 2 because I didn't want to predict the future again because Death Stranding 1 came out and then like the next year COVID happened. And it's like eerily like a lot of similarities between like what he said in Death Stranding and during like quarantine and everything. So he's like, yeah, during quarantine, like so he wrote the game in 2020 during quarantine. He's like, yeah, I totally rewrote the whole thing because he's like, I didn't want to predict the future. It's like, good call. I
almost bit, dude. I forgot to tell you this weekend. The Death Stranding director's cut was on sale for $20. I almost bid on it. You
should have.
It's gonna be on sale again before the end of the year. New Year's sale, end of the year sale. I'll pick it up then.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not like you don't have enough games to play anyways, so.
Exactly.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm stoked out of my mind. You guys all know how like head over heels I am for Death Stranding. And so I've been through this trailer so many times. I cry when I watch it. Like, it's so emotional at the beginning. I watched a GameSpot had an hour-long breakdown and whatever speculation.
And they didn't invite you?
I watched the whole thing. I know, crazy, right? I'm stoked for this game, and I don't know. I mean, I guess I'm excited for the game, but I'm also extremely excited just for the run up to the game, because I know how ridiculous Kojima is with how, what he does. Like Death Stranding, we got the craziest wild off the wall like trailers and like little hints and teases and stuff, and I just love that experience. Like, it's this typical like normal crazy Kojima. Like, who knows what he's going to do? He might rent the Empire State Building to, put a giant poster on the side of it of something random that's from the game. It's just like, or even nothing from the game, but just something to create hype. Like, that's what he does.
What's gonna suck,
let's
though,
create some hype. So
about Death Stranding 2, unfortunately, we're not going to get any more Low Roar.
I mean, we might. The music still exists.
Before?
The music still exists. There's other albums. So the first game basically pulled from the earlier Low Roar albums, but there's like 2 or 3 newer albums that he didn't pull from. So you never know.
Didn't he do stuff specifically for the game though?
Mm-mm.
No.
No.
Oh, why did I think?
Nah. All of it was made before the game and just fit perfectly. Eerily enough.
I don't know why I thought it was just for the game. Well, maybe we will then.
You never know. Yeah, you never know. Selkies says it's consent. It's called consent. What you were talking about, where they were touching boobs.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, they don't know that word. Gamers don't know that word.
What is that like? What is that like?
What do you mean?
Consent. Like, I've never gotten it before, so I'm just.
No, what are you saying? What are you talking about? Don't do you gotta cut this bit. You gotta cut this bit.
Edit that part out too. Hey, look, just be hot and ready on that.
No, you gotta cut this bit. Stop.
And also old man Sam. I'm so excited for gray haired Sam. JJ, did you have anything else that stood out to you in the Game Awards?
So we joked about you getting sexually aroused when that Death Stranding
Selkie's dead, who's currently in our chat. He's the one who originally said it. Yeah.
But also Adrian and I did on the stream, like we were talking about how you got all super excited sexually for all that stuff. And I'm serious, like you were like a little kid. And I think that like I was talking about my joy over Adrian's joy over his reaction to the game earlier. That was really neat to watch. To watch you do that. So for me, that was like, oh man, you're getting everything you want. And like, it was a good feeling to like see you excited about that game. And yeah, I'm excited to be able to play it too, but I'm more excited that you look so happy and that, although I didn't need to see the erection. Like I felt like that you could have like panned the camera.
Comes with the territory, brother. Sorry about that one.
Yeah.
Oh man. So did you have any other get hype moments during the Game Awards, or no? Nothing for you?
No.
For me or
not
for
really.
For JJ. For JJ.
No, not really. Nothing else that stood out that I'm like, oh man, I gotta play.
Okay. Interesting. Adrian, then what do you got? Anything else you were stoked for?
Final Fantasy 16 still looking great. Still looking forward to that one. That's like maybe the biggest thing.
Yeah, we got that was a new trailer, correct? Not like just another.
Yeah, it wasn't the best trailer, but it was a new one. The best trailer probably for it was.
We got the date reveal, right?
Yeah. The best trailer for it was probably the one that came before this one, because that one was super hyped. The one that was like going through all the summons and it had like music specifically for that trailer. But this one is just kind of like confirming everything. And letting us know it's coming.
Yeah, they definitely know how to make a hype trailer. Like the whole time, I'm like, man. I don't know what's happening, but this looks epic. Like all the summons, like summon versus summon fighting each other, like these giant beasts, just crazy landscapes. Like it was like such a hype trailer. I'm like, again, I was like, I don't know what any of these things are. I don't know what's happening, but I want to play this game. It was like crazy.
We got a Diablo date.
Yes, we did.
We got a Diablo date. We got a sick
4,
trailer.
Coming June 2023. Yes, that trailer looked incredible. I mean, their trailers are always very cinematic and gorgeous, but oh man, like this one is so hype, so crazy. Literally angels and demons fighting in hell. It's like, oh man, it looks so good.
Sign me up. And then we also got the breaking news that Idris is coming to Cyberpunk. Idris Elba in the new expansion.
That looks sick. Phantom Liberty, the new DLC coming out, featuring Idris Elba as a U.S. veteran named Solomon Reed, and is apparently the only person players can trust to help them fulfill an impossible mission of espionage and survival.
Yeah, right. He's gonna screw us over. Are you kidding?
Yeah, probably. But yeah, that I remember. Yeah, when that popped up, we were all like, "Whoa, what's happening? What's going on?" Because we knew he was going to be there. They announced like, oh yeah, he's going to be at the Game Awards or whatever. And then, but we all assumed, oh, he's going to present an award or whatever, do an interview like freaking Daniel Craig did. He phoned it in. But no, Olsen Idris. Well, at first it seemed like Idris was kind of phoning it in too. It's just like a video of him on the screen. And then he's like, hey, I'm in the game. We're like, what?
Or
yes, JJ, you were about to say something, JJ.
Okay, I feel like the one thing that we have not covered and that everybody here should be talking about it, because it's the thing that all gamers are talking about after the awards, is Al Pacino.
I was just getting ready to say.
Al Pacino shows up, 176 years old, and walks out on stage. Oh my God!
He can't read the teleprompter.
He can't read, and he goes, "I can't read the teleprompter." he got confused, and he's like,
"I don't know where I am right now."
It's acting, and that's what they do. Hooah!
I don't play games, but my grandkids do. I see them from time to time doing that.
My grandchildren play. Oh my God! It was so bad.
It's past my bedtime right now, but they paid me to be here.
Yeah, and I think that it was like such an unfortunate chain of events there. And it was right at the beginning of the show because literally Al Pacino comes out, lost, confused as all get out. He's rambling forever. He finally gets to the point, announces the winner of the best performance, which is then, shoot, I can't think of his name. What's his name? He played Kratos. Chris Judge.
Who
Chris
also
Judge.
goes on to deliver the longest speech
for like 10 minutes
in Game Awards history.
And they play the music. They play this epic, like, you know, we're letting you know to get the hell off the stage. And like, it just kind of added to the ambiance of what he's saying. And it was like, it was getting him more pumped up because the music was building. And he's like, and then I'm going to, but he wasn't saying much. Like, he wasn't saying much at all. He was just rambling.
I met with Cory Barlog, and
but I don't. At one point, he didn't ask for consent when he gave a huge hug to Al Pacino, and Al Pacino's like, "Who is this huge man hugging me?"
Were you on the set? Huh? Are you a grip? Are you a key grip? Where am I? Who are? I'd like to give a shout out to my good friend JJ. I'll see you at bingo on Tuesday, brother.
Now I play bingo with Al Pacino. Okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
There was another Michael Madsen came out and looked old as hell. And you guys were like, come on, guys, stop. He's JJ's age. Knock it off. You know? Everybody was beating my balls up the whole episode about how old I'm getting. So thank you guys.
Yeah,
you're welcome.
Anytime. Now, I wanted to ask, are you guys excited at all about the new Star Wars Jedi Survivor?
I am a little bit because
what's the temperature on that?
I haven't finished Fallen Order, but I felt like it was a really good game, and I liked what I saw with Survivor. I think it looks good, and I'm down, but I'm a little underwhelmed by it. I feel like it's a little late, and I don't know why. It just didn't feel super special. I don't know what it is. It feels like the moment's passed on Star Wars stuff because Star Wars was coming out with so many movies, and I feel like there's a burnout with some of the Star Wars stuff.
Have you watched Andor?
I think, I was going to say Star Wars TV is some of the best Star Wars we've ever gotten.
Yeah,
Mando,
the movies may not be
Andor,
great, but
Obi-Wan.
Mandalorian, yes. Mandalorian,
Boba
absolutely.
Fett.
And then Boba was great too. Boba Fett was great.
Andor might be my, so my number one Star Wars movie is Rogue One, and Andor is a very, very, very close second now for Star Wars content.
Really? Over Mando?
Movies, yes. Mandalorian's great. Mandalorian's great. Wow. Andor was incredible because it was the way I've described it to friends is it's like, okay, so the Star Wars movies are generally, and even Mandalorian stuff like that, a lot of Star Wars stuff is very fantastical sci-fi. It's not just sci-fi. It's everything goes right for the main character. Everything's very nice and ties up with a nice, neat little bow. And I feel like Andor for me, I felt like, oh man, this is the first time it's almost like the camera turns and looks behind the scenes at the everyday life of some of these people. And in this case, the beginning of the rebellion is it's hey, life sucks under the Empire. This is what it actually looks like. People are being beaten and killed and trapped, or not trapped, but imprisoned. It's dark and dirty and messy, and the drama, there's a lot more drama. I don't know. I thought it was a great show. They've covered this subject
before, just not to this length, I don't think.
Oh, well, they covered it in Rogue One, which is why Rogue One is my number one. I love that movie. And then Andor is did the same exact thing, but in a full on TV show where it's hey, this is real life in Star Wars. This isn't hey, you're the main character and you have plot armor on. This is boots to the ground, the people doing the hard work in the background, which is, I loved it. I thought it was fantastic. And again, I like the story, the drama, seeing the beginning of the rebellion. It's it's epic. It's really great. So I highly recommend Andor if you've missed it. But Adrian, how are you excited for this game though at all? Or
so I have a weird relationship with the Jedi series in that I adore everything about these games except for Cal. I feel no emotional attachment to Cal at all. He just feels like it's I don't understand why Cal had to be the way he is. You could have put anybody in that spot and the same emotional beats could have worked. It didn't necessarily have to be a human. It could have been anything. It could have been Twi'lek. It could have been anybody, any kind of sentient speaking, because there's not only human Jedi. There's tons of different kinds. So I mean, and then when you go, okay, you're gonna make him a human, then you just make him the most generic looking dude there is, and it's just
yeah.
But everything else, I really dug. I dug the story. I dug the combat, the worlds that you go to, the way that the game plays. Kind of it's more. What's the word? Traditional.
I felt the game, the original game, was Soulsborne light. It very much feels like a Soulsborne game in the combat, but a lighter. I mean, unless you crank up the difficulty and it's up there,
right.
But it's kind of a new, fun new take of our Star Wars game for sure.
In a sense, yeah. So when they try to use Cal to build up these new trailers and stuff like that, I'm I mean, I'm sure I'll check it out because it's Star Wars and I'm very, very partial to it. But I heard a rumor that the guy in the Bacta tank might be Revan, which would be very interesting.
I don't know.
Darth Revan? Oh, okay. Well, it's Extended Universe Legends. It's okay.
Is he from a game or a book or?
He's a book.
Okay. Yeah. I'm not a nerd.
Are you guys surprised that they haven't come out with a Mandalorian game based on the popularity of the TV show? Or even Boba Fett, who was already hugely popular before before the recent rash of the TV shows.
Well, they had a bounty hunter game back in the day, which is actually a really fun game. Back then, it did not age well, but so that is a thing. You're right. There was like, because he's always been popular. Django. Actually, that one was Jango Fett, technically, not Boba Fett, right? But yeah. So I'm not. I'm probably gonna get a lot of hate, especially from Kajoma on this one. I'm not excited for this game at all.
Really?
I watched the trailer and I even rewatched it, and I really kind of was like, I enjoyed the first one, the story, the first one, and the worlds and all that, the combat. But when I got to the end, I remember having this feeling of like, all right, I'm done. That's good. That was good. And then watching this trailer, I'm like, that just seems like more of the same. And I don't want that. Like I enjoyed what I got. I enjoyed that portion, but thinking about another portion of the same thing, it's kind of like when you have too much of a rich cake and someone puts on another slice and you're like, I'm gonna throw up. Like that's almost what I feel like. I'm like looking at this other slice, I'm like, I'm gonna be sick. Like that's too rich for me.
I'm having a really hard time understanding what you mean by that. I'm not following.
Too much cake.
Can you use like a different analogy or something? Because like that doesn't make any sense to me whatsoever.
I can't think of one off the top of my head. But no, it wasn't
because
my
you
favorite.
don't care, right? You don't care about Cal.
I guess so. Yeah, like I enjoyed my time with it, but I enjoyed it, and then I'm done. I never want to play that game again, and I didn't necessarily need a new game. And so now if there's a new game coming out, I'm like, I don't care. I don't know. Yeah, I don't care. And the combat wasn't fun enough. It was fun. It was a fun novelty thing. But then after however many hours, 15 hours out, I'm like, all right, I got my fill. I don't need any more of that weird Star Wars, version of Soulsborne mechanics. Like, I'm happy to do hundreds of hours of Elden Ring, but
right.
but
by the actual people who make it, yeah.
Right. But yeah, like this imitation crab, essentially, this imitation Soulsborne is like, this is not the same thing. It's the fresh real deal. I love how I keep using food analogies, and JJ looks so confused. He's like, I don't understand. I don't get it. Imitation crab, real crab, it's all good to me.
So there was actually something that I feel like we didn't really talk about, and maybe I'm completely wrong. Something that happened at the Game Awards, where the cast from The Last of Us were out there on stage at the same time as the voice actors, Ashley and Troy Baker, and they were actually going to be in the movie. And the four of them were introducing a game award. And I just remember that it was the most awkward and poorly done moment. It was almost as bad as Al Pacino mumbling through, I don't play video games, my grandkids do. It was uncomfortable. It wasn't written well. They were all kind of just talking over each other. I don't know if you guys, you're saying that now, but I'm not sure if you guys were aware at the time. Like I was like, this was a horrible moment. It did not come across well.
Yeah, it almost seemed like they didn't plan anything. Yeah, they didn't plan anything. They just walked out there and they're like, oh, wouldn't it be funny if we said our sentences together on purpose? And it's like,
it wasn't. It was just dumb.
And everybody was like, really. Oh, okay. Yeah. Whatever we can do to get off the stage faster.
Yeah, right.
Speaking of that moment, though, the new trailer for Last of Us looking so good, dude.
So excited.
Fantastic.
So excited.
Oh, man. I can't wait for that show. Yeah.
Now, do you guys already have HBO Max, or did you go out and specifically get this for this
I'll get it the day it comes out.
I've had it for a while now, and I was thinking of canceling it, and then I saw a trailer. I'm like, dang it. Nope. I guess I just might as well keep it.
You're in it. You're in it.
Yeah,
I gotta pay for it for at least 2 months.
I have to keep it because I really am excited about this series.
Yeah. I think the last big thing that I was freaking out about because it was totally out of left field. I think earlier I'd said something like, how crazy it'd be to see something like I heard someone else, but it was a long shot. It was a long shot. When frickin' Armored Core 6 Fires of Rubicon was announced, Oh baby, I was like, "Are you kidding me right now?" Oh
what?
Man. It was a beautiful moment because me and Adrian were just like, "What is this?" Like we kept going back, and finally, I clipped this. It's on Twitter. I gasped. I'm like, "Oh!" And Adrian's like, "Could it be Armored Core?" And I'm like, I was just about to say that. And then all of a sudden, boom, it pops up on screen. I'm like, what? Like, so crazy. Because this franchise, I've not played the more recent ones. Because there was a couple on PS3, I think is the most recent one. There's like 2 on PS3. But the original ones that were on like PlayStation 1, PlayStation 2 era, I played a lot and loved them. I loved Armored Core. So much fun. Yeah, so knowing that there's one coming to PS5, I am stoked out of my mind to get into this. The trailer looked gorgeous, and then there's an exclusive interview from IGN that came out today where they basically are like, hey, here's like our 5 bullet points of what's coming to the game, and it's 100% what we want from like classic good old Armored Core. You know, it's going to focus on story missions, big boss battles. We're not going to worry about, there's going to be multiplayer, but that'll come later. Like the main focus is going to be, we're not going to try to stuff in the Soulsborne type combat style. It's going to be Armored Core, what you know and love. And I was like, yes, thank you for not just ruining the franchise. And like, it's fine to like add things to it, give us a little extras here and there. Adrian made a good point earlier, maybe a game mode or something, but man, I'm so excited for this game. I can't wait. So yeah, go check out all these trailers. They're all over the internet, and I feel that was the coolest thing from the night. I felt like every trailer really was pretty entertaining to watch. Like I was kind of surprised. Like I don't think there's any trailer where I was like, woof, this is bad. For the most part, they were like, oh, this is actually kind of cool to look. The Dead Cells DLC with Castlevania, like that looked super sick.
That was all. I must have missed that one when it first showed up.
It was before you jumped on. It's right I think it was the first thing that they showed at the Game Awards, and you weren't on Discord.
Because I for sure would have popped out. Because Dead Cells is awesome, and then now you're telling me there's Castlevania content too.
Yeah.
Oh, baby.
Yeah. Super awesome. So
yeah, overall, for sure picking that up.
This was up there. I think I'd give this, I gave this a Game Awards like an A+.
Yeah.
Like especially compared to previous years. This one was a huge step up.
Maybe A-, just because I feel like the last third was pretty low energy. I feel like we didn't get a whole lot going in there.
The last third was kind of, that's when we got the Final Fantasy 16 release date, and then Armored Core.
They were holding that. They were holding that out, and it was already, people were burnt out.
Yeah.
The show was too long, and they said they were going to run it 2.5 hours. They overran.
I think it could just be a solid 2 and be good.
Yeah.
With the 30-minute pregame, like just solid 2. Absolutely. I think anything more than that, and you're dragging it out. You really are.
Yeah. So it was a great show. Again, you can go check out our full run that you can skip through or do whatever you need to over there, or find those 3 clips are on Twitter there of us freaking out about some of our favorite announcements there. It was a lot of fun. I'm glad JJ you joined us, because I've been doing this for years. Adrian joined me the last couple, and then it was fun. All 3 of us to be on there. It was a blast. So. Let's see. Let me look at the clock. All right. No other news stories. Sorry. FTC's suing at Microsoft, and IGN laid off a bunch of people. Basically, I just want to say IGN be better, and Microsoft, I don't know. I still don't know how I feel about that. Like I obviously it'd be cool if Microsoft bought Activision, but I don't know. Everyone's been acting so childish lately. I almost want to be like, no one gets Activision.
Especially
everyone go back.
Sony, my God.
Everyone go back to your. Or Phil Spencer came out today and said something. I'm like, dude, just chill out. Like,
what did he say?
I don't know. He was just like blaming. He's like, PlayStation just wants to grow bigger by belittling us and making us smaller. Like he was just like whining and complaining.
Bro, you're Microsoft.
Like, of course they do. They're your competitors. Like that's what the whole point. So yeah, everyone's just being really a bunch of babies. So
to be quite honest, if it flops, oh well, because and I don't think Sony realizes it, is that they are going to give Microsoft preferential treatment on everything going forward. If this deal falls through, right? Once their contracts are up, whatever marketing deals that they have with Sony, they're never going to do it again. It's always going to go to Microsoft first. So whatever Call of Duty exclusives, whatever, exclusive launch window on console or Game Pass or whatever, it's always going to go to Microsoft first because they're going to want to spite Sony for stopping that deal.
Sony,
so they shot themselves in the foot either way.
Exactly. Yeah, Sony has pretty much killed themselves
bridge
on that one. Yeah.
Yeah.
Crazy. All right. Well, now it's time for our Patreon ad. This is the part of the show where I tell you to go over to supergamerboys.com/Patreon, or actually the better URL, if I was reading my notes right now, would be patreon.com/supergamerboys. I think they both go the same place, but patreon.com/supergamerboys. Head over there where you can support starting at just $1 a month, get episodes early and ad-free, such as this show, such as Super Gamer Book Club. As we mentioned before, the new one's coming out soon. We're talking about Kingdom Hearts. Can't wait for that one. Overall, I'm enjoying the game. It's not tugging at my heartstrings or anything, but it's like,
keep playing.
This is a fun game.
Yep. We'll talk about it.
Yeah. You can also support us at $5 a month, get show notes early, and you'll be able to leave your own questions, comments, concerns right on the doc that we use to run the show. So if you want to leave your own questions, answer the listener questions, leave your own comments on news stories, leave it all on there if you support us at $5 or above. $10, you get a shout out on the show. You can be a sponsor. And $15 a month, you can be a Patreon producer where you get to recommend or pitch us segments, ideas for the show. And who knows, maybe I'll call on you to be a guest every once in a while or something like Eddie. Eddie, we need someone because JJ's slacking again. So, you know. You can also support us by subscribing on Twitch, twitch.tv/TheSuperGamerBoys. If you have Amazon Prime, that means you have Prime Gaming over at Twitch. You can link your Amazon account. You get one free sub every single month. You just have to remember to do it manually each and every month. I don't know why they don't just automatically re-up it. I don't know. It's made something like Jeff Bezos is just greedy or something and wants to steal your money. So go over there and remember to do that. Drop that for us, please. It gives us $5. Doesn't cost you anything. $0. Free for you. So pretty please go subscribe over on twitch.tv/TheSuperGamerBoys. And lastly here, w.gg. Head over there. And when you order some delicious energy drinks that are gluten-free, sugar-free, and have no crash. I'm waiting for JJ to jump in. Let me finish first. Make sure to use code SGB to get 10% off, and it helps support the show. We get a little kickback there. It's a tasty drink with their patented neurofactor, helps you to focus better, and again, no crash, lots of energy, keeps you going all day or night long.
Or night, and that's what I'm talking about. From gamers to gym junkies to entrepreneurs, perfect for anyone who wants to be better. Or maybe a little bigger. It's America's tastiest gaming energy drink of 2022. Dubby. Go to W.gg. Make sure to talk about the Super Gamer Boys in there, because it's not only going to get you energy up and raring to go, it's also going to do that to your pee-pee. Look, they don't even listen to this stuff. And when I say pee-pee, I mean your penis. It'll flush that son of a gun because of their neurofibers. That neuro thing, because your brain is not just in your head, it's in your penis. And that's what it's going to do. That neurofactor is going to pump your junk up, and your testes will get giant. Dubby.
Okay. All right.
They have great drinks too, but are we still doing the ad?
I think that's good.
So you're saying they're going to get Dubby the size?
Yeah, they are.
There you go.
All right. I think that's good. Go support us. W.gg. Use our code SGB over there. All right. Let's get back to the show. All right, this is the part of the show where I ask you fellas what you playing. So, JJ, what you playing?
I've been playing some Guardians of the Galaxy as of late. And then also I have gone back and forth playing a little bit of Red Dead Redemption 2. I know you guys get tired of me playing the old guy games that I go back to that are fitting me like a glove. But I just love the world. And it's so much fun being out in the old Wild West.
I don't mind you going back to the old stuff as long as you got new stuff in rotation too.
And that's what I'm trying to do. I'm doing the Guardians of the Galaxy. And there's also a couple of smaller games that I've been trying. Some of the indie games. I can't think of one of the names of them right now, but I've been trying some. Amnesia Rebirth is a game that I've just recently started playing off of.
Aren't you a chicken?
Game Pass. What's that? I
said, aren't you a chicken? That's a scary game.
So here's the deal. I leave lights on. I'm gonna be honest. I'd leave some. I have a night light already, right? But I'm leaving like the overhead on when I'm playing it. Because it does get kind of scary. It does,
Go ahead.
Awesome.
Yeah, I'm enjoying it, and it is super scary, but it's a lot of fun, dude. And it's one of those games where if you play it, it's confusing and it makes you feel kind of nuts. What was that game that had the Hellblade saga or whatever, like where you just feel like you're crazy? That's kind of like Senua's Sacrifice. That's kind of like how I feel when I was first playing it. I was like, it feels nuts and like chaotic, and you're kind of just all over the map. So it's on Game Pass right now. If you guys have Game Pass, it's worth a play. I'm like an hour and a half in on playing it. I'll play a little bit more here and there. Guardians of the Galaxy has been fun, but I don't think I'm going to play it much more. It's like any other game that's kind of cut in the same cloth. So it's hard for me to get into it, and I'm just not feeling it right now. I might come back to it, but I'm probably going to call it quits on that game right now.
I kind of get what you mean. It's definitely they're trying to do like a Telltale type of deal, but they have combat in it where it's like, oh, you're going to, when you do something, Rocket will remember that, or so on and so forth. So,
right.
Interesting. Yeah, I feel like that's what, when it first came out, that was kind of the general consensus, which is why I initially didn't get it, because I was like, oh, it just seems like it's mediocre. And then it was like on sale, and I'm like, oh, well, if it's on sale, I'm gonna get it. Like, it was not long after it came out, it went on sale, and then I picked it up. And then it was like not long after that. We talked about this last week, but that's when it went on Game Pass, and I was like, bummer. But yeah, I don't know. Maybe one day I'll get to try it, but
I liked it for what it was. I think I gave it like a solid. I think it was like a 7.
Okay, yeah, that's what it seemed like by what I remember seeing. But Adrian, what you been playing?
So I tried out the Forspoken demo, which was recently released at the Game Awards. That's the new Square Enix and Luminous Productions game. Right. And boy, I gotta tell you, I really left that demo feeling disappointed, man. The combat does not feel good at all. It doesn't feel like there's any fluidity, or it doesn't feel jointed at all. It doesn't feel like it's put together. Every time so it's spell-based combat, right? So you're flinging spells left and right to try to fight off enemies. And every time you want to switch a spell, you have to go into a menu, and then you select the spell you want, and then you select the element that's on top of the spell, and then you can finally start to do that and cast it. The enemies, the AI of the enemies is not very good at all. They just kind of stand around until they do their attack animations to hit you. And then the biggest sin of all is the dialogue in this game is not good at all. It is very corny. It's very frequent. It's way too much of it. And these are people who, like, we were talking before the show, and I was saying, oh, these are the people who they get like a thrill out of saying a bad word, so they kind of they write it all over the dialogue where it doesn't need to be to get the point across. And it just comes across as like you're doing too much. People don't really talk like that. Even people who have sailor mouths don't talk like that, So It really. Oh, and the character model for the main character, especially for this being a PS5 exclusive, like a next gen exclusive, is unacceptably bad. It looks like a late PS3, early PS4 model, which is not cool considering that the models that they had in like this is the same engine that they did for Final Fantasy 15. And the Noctis model from that game looks better than this character's model in this new game, which is crazy. I don't understand what's going on here.
PS5 exclusive. Like they have all the power in the world. It's like, what are they doing with that character model?
The particle effects look amazing. I will definitely give them that. That looks really good. You can run and parkour all throughout the world, but there's nothing in it, basically. It's really empty. And not good empty like Breath of the Wild, where there's like, oh, this is a landmark. I wonder what happened here because it's all destroyed. There's probably a lot of lore in there if I go looking, but there's nothing like that as far as the demo is concerned.
See, that's what the parkour looked like, a lot of fun. Like a lot of
that part is pretty good, but everything else is just it's not firing on all cylinders. And I really wish it would, because the concept of this game is really cool, but it's just not executed well. So we'll see. It's so big that they'll probably end up getting a sequel, and that's where it'll fix all the problems.
Which is unfortunate. Like you wish they would just fix it have it good the first time around. Like
right.
Why put out garbage and then hope for a sequel? Like
right.
I don't know.
On the complete opposite side of that coin, I also have recently started the new Ratchet and Clank game, Rift Apart.
Oh,
my goodness, is that game good, dude?
Mm-hmm.
It is mind-bogglingly gorgeous. Ratchet's model is outstanding. You know, when I geeked out, I got to a certain level when, and I know this, I shouldn't be, but you know, a lot of developers don't think about this, but I got to a world where it was raining, and not only was the rain, you could see the drops coming on like his little headpiece and his armor and stuff like that, but his fur was wet. His fur was wet, yeah. and it was kind of like laid down, you know, like wet hair does. And I was like, man, somebody really said, oh, we have to think about this kind of stuff. And then take that principle and then apply it to the entire game. And that's what you have with Ratchet and Clank. Everything is dialed to the nines. It's so good. The environments look great. What's up?
Is Rift Apart like the last game that Ratchet and Clank had? Like Ratchet and Clank 4? Is it very similar?
No, it feels like the first couple. Like it's more akin to the original ones.
Mm-hmm.
It's a fantastic. I agree with you. When I played it, I didn't get the platinum, but I pretty much 100%ed it. Like I got all the weapons, I upgraded everything, I found all the collectibles. Like I just went all out because I love that game, and I think I know what world you're talking about, because that same world, there's like neon signs and stuff, and seeing like the reflections in the rain and in the puddles on the ground. It's like the ray tracing in this game.
Off of Clank. Clank is ray traced.
Yeah.
Oh my god, you see everything off of him. Yeah. It's wild.
That was my favorite world because it's like this dark, like dreary, rainy, like kind of. So it feels like cyberpunky type city with like the neon lights and stuff and the fog. I'm like, oh, this is just so gorgeous. And then the character models, so good.
Above everything else, the absolute coolest thing, and I posted it on Twitter when I experienced it for the first time, is the whole like rift thing of the game. Is you're going through different dimensional rifts in between the worlds, right? So there's a section in the beginning where you're going through a rift, and in less than 3 seconds you leave the entire world that you're in and you're in a totally different one. You don't even really realize it because they mask it so well with like you being interdimensional, and you come out and it's a totally different world. And then not even like maybe 5 seconds later, they do it again, shoot you. And 3 seconds later, you're in another whole world again. And it's insane. They're like, there's no pop-in, there's no loading. It's fully loaded. And it's, my mind was blown. Dude, technology is so freaking cool that we're able to do that.
Yeah. Yeah, it's incredible.
So-
It's these enormous, like beautiful worlds, just like loaded within second. Like boom,
Yeah.
like all of a sudden, hey, now you're in this completely different world too. It's like go from city to like jungle to like back
And
to
then back.
like, ocean, and then back to the city and back. It's like what the heck, like crazy.
Yeah. So I'm having an absolute blast with it. I can't wait to see what's gonna happen next. I'm looking forward to everything with it. I mean, Ratchet and Clank they've always been a good game, but like this is next level for this series. So yeah, I'm having a ball.
Fantastic game. That's awesome. I'm so glad you're playing it. I'm so happy you have a PS5 now, so you can get to experience all these games. Because even though there's not like a ton of exclusive stuff, the ones that are on there are so good. Like the games that are on there are so great. The technology is so impressive. So
I also like to add, still no friend requests accepted from JJ. Just wanted to throw that out there. It's been another week. Been another week gone by.
3 weeks. 3 weeks and no. Oh, and he's even been playing games. He admitted he's been playing Red Dead. He's been playing. Oh my god.
I wouldn't know. I can't tell when he signs on. He's not my friend.
Oh no.
It just sits up there, I'm sure, right in the corner, that little one next to the friend listing.
I'm normally
probably
not
like,
allowed
"Hey,
to touch
JJ."
that portion of it because my
JJ.
kid is like, "You'll mess it up, old man. Don't you get these 5 across?" I'm like, "Okay, I won't mess up your stuff, But I'll totally do that tonight. I'm gonna do that tonight. So soon.
All right, I'll check tomorrow when it won't be there.
He's not doing it tonight. He's not.
That hurts so bad, guys. Like, no faith.
I had a week's worth of faith from the last time I mentioned it.
Did I say I was gonna run up?
Yes.
I did, didn't I? Yeah, I remember
yeah.
that now. Yeah.
Garrett, what have you been playing?
I have been playing Kingdom Hearts. I've been playing a lot of Pokemon Violet. And I love Pokemon Violet. That game is so good. People keep complaining about how bad it runs, but you know what? I don't see it. I think it runs just fine for what it is. It could be better. I'm not gonna say again. I said this last week. It could be better.
I think I need to get your glasses checked, dude.
It could be better, but it's fine. Like
now, you weren't there.
I know. Please go play Pokemon Violet. I think the other night I was playing the other game I'm about to mention. I was playing this game with Nate Fletcher, Boba Fletch, and I think I convinced him to get Pokemon Violet because he was like, he was already kind of thinking about it. I'm like, dude, you have to. Like, it's brilliant. The Pokemon are incredible. The worlds are incredible. The fact that there's like multiple quests you can go after. Like, it's not just like, okay, go do your gyms and then go to the Elite Four. It's like, no, like I can go do this objective or this objective, and you can do it in any order you want. Like, I love that. This is so fun. Like, it's literally Breath of the Wild-esque kind of like feeling, like the first, in the sense that like the first time we all played Breath of the Wild, and we're like, what? We can do anything, go anywhere? Like, that's what I'm feeling playing this game. Like, really? I can just go there now. Okay, cool. Like, I'm loving it. So go play Pokemon Violet and Scarlet. So good. By the way, I still need to get those starters from you at some point.
We gotta figure out a time when you're free.
I know, we just gotta figure it out.
I got them sitting. I got the eggs. So,
but the game I was playing the other night with Nate was Warhammer 40K Darktide, and this was a game I was really excited about because if a lot of people have played Warhammer Vermintide, which is takes place in like the fantasy setting, and you basically, it is like a first person at that point, like melee type game. Like you just kill a bunch of things, and I don't know, it's kind of like horde mode, but you're moving through a mission. So it's like if Left 4 Dead had a lot more zombies, a lot more like a horde mode and Left 4 Dead mixed together kind of thing. That's Vermintide, and then Darktide takes place, it's in the 40K universe, which is in the future, so it's like aliens and all sorts of like laser guns, crazy stuff. Gameplay aside, this game is probably one of the most beautiful games I've played on my PC. It's the ray trace, it's optimized extremely well, until it isn't. I'll get to that. It's optimized extremely well, where I was playing on high with ray tracing on, and it was just like, I wasn't getting full 60 FPS, but I was getting 40. I was getting, at least it was above 30. I was getting 40 to 50 FPS. I'm like, oh my gosh, like this is gorgeous. Like, and I had ray tracing cranked. Like, there's a low setting.
I was gonna say, because it was killing you that bad with a 30 series card.
I had ray tracing cranked up, and I was playing the normal game, like normal graphics were on high, and ray tracing was on high.
Okay.
And holy smokes, it is absolutely beautiful. And I mean, so not only does it have all the high graphics and the ray tracing and stuff, but I mean, the Warhammer universe in general has just like really incredible visuals. Like whether like, yeah, just look, if you use Google Warhammer 40K artwork online, like there's just a really cool aesthetic to the game already. Just a bigness to it. Very like, it's just very grand and over the top. And I love how it translates in this hyper realistic graphic with, you know, the ray tracing and everything. Oh, it's a gorgeous game. And on top of that, it's fantastic combat. Feels really good. Hordes of just hundreds of enemies coming at you. And there's different classes you can play as. So Dan was playing with us. He was playing like the sharpshooter. So he had the gun. He was laying down the covering fire. I was playing as a priest, which basically I had a giant axe, or I could choose an axe or like a warhammer, and I'm just like beating the crap out of dudes. And then originally Nate was playing as a psyker, which is he has psychic abilities. He can like pop people's heads off and stuff and do like crazy stuff. And then he changes to the fourth class is Ogrein, which is basically this huge hulking dude, like the size, like 2 people tall, basically. He's like 12, 15 foot tall, massive. Like, and you probably saw him if you saw the Dark Tide trailer. He's like the big like massive dude. And he's just going around just plowing through hordes of enemies. We were having so much fun. Selki's eventually joined us too, who's in the chat earlier. So it's 4-player co-op, and that's exactly that. It's like Left 4 Dead, but with like bigger hordes of just crazy zombie creatures, and it is so much fun. And it's free on Game Pass. So yeah, so like I was already planning on buying it, and then I'm like, it's free? Like, what? Like, I don't know. I totally forgot until I was getting ready to fire up with Nate, and I'm like, oh shoot, I don't have to pay for this. Like, this is awesome.
Man,
so
I've always loved bigger whores. It's like my favorite. Dude.
Oh no,
like,
no.
I think you might have heard him a little incorrectly, but we get what you're saying.
Hordes.
That's a totally different thing.
Yeah.
No, yeah. You're gonna have to edit that part out too.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Boy, a lot of work for me tonight.
This one's staying.
But yeah, so if you have a Game Pass, go check it out. Whether you like Warhammer or not, like it's a fun game, especially when you have people to play with. Like that's really what it is. I don't know if I'd ever played on my own, but like Vermintide was a fun one I played because it doesn't really have a story. It's not meant to be played like, it's not like there's a campaign. It literally is just like you jump in, just like Left 4 Dead. There wasn't really a story. You just jump in a mission and go through, like survive to the end kind of thing. So that's what this is. It's like, okay, jump in with your friends and make it, or you don't, or you all die and that's it. You go back to the beginning and you either play the same mission, or there's like every like 30 minutes the missions refresh. There's new missions to do with different objectives, or in different levels and everything like that. So yeah, it's fun. If you have a few buddies who have Xbox, check it out. It's a lot of fun. And it doesn't have cross.
You still play with your Warhammer figures like alone, like when you're like, oh, Friday, you know what I mean?
Not alone.
You do it with an audience or like with your friends?
I play with my friends. Yeah, I play some Warhammer with my friends sometimes, maybe.
I don't think you do. I don't know why. I just don't think you do.
Oh, man. That's another thing at Game Awards I got announced. Space Marine 2, another 40K franchise I know you guys are so excited about.
Over the moon, man. Hades 2, what is that? Give me that Space Marine.
Give me a Space Marine. But yeah, so go check it out. It's on Game Pass. It's free. So it doesn't cost you anything. And but yeah, that's what I was saying. It doesn't have crossplay, which is bizarre. So you can play. So Xbox can play on Xbox. If you're playing, so this is the issue we ran into. Selkies had it on Steam. We had it on Xbox for PC or Game Pass for PC. We could not play with each other, even though it's both PC. It's different launchers. I could technically play with you, JJ, because you have an Xbox, and I was playing on the Xbox app on my PC, but which it just blew my mind that I'm like, we're literally both playing on a PC, but because it was a different launcher, he bought it through Steam, we owned it through Xbox. It wouldn't. wouldn't let us. But fortunately, he had Game Pass, so he joined us later after installing it. But just a heads up. So if you plan on playing,
they don't offer crossplay.
Yeah, if you're planning on the crossplay, it's not there at launch. I think there's talks to bring it, but not there now, which kind of sucks.
It should be standard at this point going forward. Like, if you're bringing out a multiplayer game, it shouldn't come out without being cross-plat.
Yeah, absolutely. Kind of crazy decision on their part, but it is what it is. So go check it out. All right, that is all I got for tonight. So thank you so much for listening. We appreciate each and every one of you for joining us here. And for all the old-time listeners, all the new-time listeners, I had a friend tell me the other day, and it's someone who isn't, as far as I know, super into gaming. And they actually didn't even, it's a newer friend. They didn't even know I had a podcast. Anyways, they were on YouTube scrolling through the suggested, and they saw Super Gamer Boys on their suggested things.
What?
And he's like, hey, that guy kind of looks familiar, like in the little thumbnail, you know how it auto plays? And so he clicked on it. And then all of a sudden, obviously, right at the beginning, it shows our name. And he heard my voice and saw the name card come out with Garrett Morlang. He's like, what? I know that guy. It blew his mind. He's like, do you have a podcast? I'm like, yeah, I do a video game podcast every week. I just thought that was so crazy. So I don't know if he's ever going to check this out and actually listen. But if you do, thanks for watching. Yeah, tell your friends. Because that's what I learned. I was like, yeah, I guess I don't really tell a lot of my friends I even do this. So if you have friends, tell them. Because they might like it. They might like it.
Or they might have friends who like this kind of stuff.
Yeah, exactly. If you want to help us keep making cool stuff, head over to patreon.com/supergamerboys if you want to toss us a few bucks over there. Remember, just $1 a month gets you episodes early and ad-free. You can also support us by going over to sgbstore.com and ordering some merch. We got t-shirts, we got stickers, we got phone cases, we got mugs. I don't know what the date cutoff is for Christmas time, but I mean, maybe it could be a late Christmas gift. Go check it out. Get that the loved one in your life an SGB mug. Remember, you can support us at w.gg. Use code SGB. Shout out to Jack Sriracha and Yate for allowing us to use their music on our show. Please go listen to them. Links to both Spotify and Apple Music down in the show description below. SuperGamerBoys.com is where you can find us during the week. Also over at Twitter and Instagram at SuperGamerBoys. I am on Twitter and Instagram at GMorlang. Adrian, where can they find you at?
You can find me any and everywhere at Homeboy.
And JJ, where can they find you at?
You can find me on Twitter at JJ Purdom. You can also find me over on Twitter at Suplex City Pod. Remember, I'm doing the Suplex City Wrestling podcast each and every week, talking pro wrestling, of course, produced right here in studio by the Super Gamer Boys. Garrett specifically goes in and tries to clean up some inappropriateness and, make me sound halfway decent and intelligent. He's really struggled to do that, by the way. But each and every week we talk wrestling. This week we did a deep dive talking about some old Royal Rumble matches and some ones that stood out to us. We rewatched them and then we talked about it on the show. It was a lot of fun, and I look forward to next week.
Heck yeah. Go check it out, Suplex City Pod. All right. That's all I got for the show.
He's like, and now I got nothing.
I got nothing.
All right, for Adrian Homeboy Holmes, for Garrett Morlang, and for myself, JJ Purdom, we are the Super Gamer Boys.
And we will catch you on the flippity flop.
82, baby. I can't believe it.